Hi, my name's Katie, and I'm a librarian with Ball State University Libraries. And in this video, we're going to break down the topic of peer review. In this video, we will learn about the process of peer review within academic publishing, the benefits and limitations of peer review, and how to identify research articles that have been peer-reviewed. A research article reports on a scholar's original research and findings, often conducted through a scientific study. Unlike popular sources, such as newspapers, magazines, and blogs, which are written for the everyday person, research articles are written for the community of scholars within an academic discipline. Importantly, research articles also undergo a process called peer review. Peer review is an important quality check that helps the research to be accepted within the scholarly community. Let's take a look at the academic publishing process to learn more. In order to get research published in a peer-reviewed journal, scholars first conduct a study and write a draft. Next, the researchers find a journal they would like to publish in and submit their draft. The editor of the journal reads the draft article and considers whether it's a good fit for their publication. If it is, the editor then sends the article to expert scholars within the same field of study for a process known as peer review. Peer reviewers, also sometimes called peer referees, read the article, examine the research, and ask questions to explore the validity, accuracy, quality, and originality of the research. Next, reviewers recommend whether they think the article is worthy of publication. They may also provide feedback for the authors and suggest revisions. Finally, the journal editor decides whether to accept the article, reject it, or accept it with revisions. If accepted, the journal will publish the article, where it can then be accessed and read by an audience of scholars, either through individual subscriptions or, more often, institutional access via a university library. Journal subscriptions are expensive, folks. While peer review helps to build trust in scholars' research, it's important to realize that peer review is not a guarantee that all data is accurate and all conclusions in the article are true. Let's look at some limitations of peer review. Variation and purpose. Both research and peer review practices differ based on the discipline, type of work, and the publisher. While we tend to think of peer review as one thing, there's no single standard. Transparency. The criteria that reviews are based on are not always known to either the author or the readers. Data errors. Even when reviewers do look for internal consistency in the methodology and conclusions of a study, there could still be errors in the original data. Human subjectivity and bias. Editorial decisions are ultimately subjective. Reviewers are only human, and everyone brings their own biases to the table. At the end of the day, it's best to think of peer review like a sieve or a filter. Peer review exists to provide rigor in the scholarly process and encourages good science in our research, but it won't catch every bad piece of data or flawed research. Before we wrap up, let's talk about some ways that you can identify peer-reviewed articles as you go about your own research. Research articles typically contain the following sections. The literature review. This section is usually near the beginning of the article and highlights previous similar study and research. The methodology. This section provides information on how the study was performed, the participants, the types of instruments used, and the variables. Conclusions. This may include a section for the results, as well as an interpretation of the findings, acknowledgement of study limitations, and a discussion of implications and opportunities for future research. The library is a great place to search for research articles, and most library databases even have the option to limit your results to only scholarly or peer-reviewed articles. Keep in mind that some sources might be considered scholarly without being a true research study, and some sources that you find on the web might look like a research study, but might not be peer-reviewed. Librarians are experts in finding and identifying authoritative sources of information, so don't hesitate to get help. That's what we're here for. Visit the Ask a Librarian page at the University Library's website to get in touch. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your research.